feel like you gotta say it like MANCAN. Representing MANCAN is Graham Veazey. Graham? There he is.
I like to build things, and the idea for MANCAN came after a night of building. After converting the old firehouse that's on the MANCAN label into my own, I bought the building across the street, and I was rehabbing it. I was covered in drywall dust when I met a friend at a bar for a drink. I was craving wine, but this was a bar that had little to no stemware. And if there was a bottle of wine, it was half open for who knows how long. And then the light bulb. Wine in a can. Why did this bar have Goose Island and Dale's Pale Ale and other craft beers in cans, but no wine? My friend and I whipped out our iPhones and searched canned wine and wine in a can. And the only thing that popped up was Sophia's little pink can of champagne. I bought ManCanWine.com that night. I woke up the next morning and I called my brothers. I'm one of 4 boys. I asked them about wine in a can, and they all said that they'd fill their fridges with ManCan in a heartbeat. I partnered up with my wife, Marika, who's a designer, and my childhood best friend, Fisk, who's in the audience, who's an avid outdoorsman and fisherman. And we developed the brand. We worked with a seasoned winemaker to create a universal taste profile that's deliberately non-vintage and non-varietal, so we can get awesome wine in a proven package, can after can, year after year. Each ManCan sticks with the staples. We've got ManCan Red, ManCan White, and ManCan Fizz, our white with bubbles. Each can is handcrafted in Sebastopol in Sonoma County. We come in cases of 24 that are then broken into 4-packs, and our initial line shrink sleeve, but this summer we'll introduce the labels infused directly onto the cans so that the colors pop even more and you've got that cleaner finish. Shakespeare penned the line, "What's in a name?" Well, ManCan. It's the name that popped in my head that night at the bar, and it's the name that stuck. There's a rhyme to it. There's an edge to it. Yet the dog, my dog Gracie, on the label, and the story softens that edge just a bit to make it more inviting.
Are you planning on excluding women from drinking ManCan?
No.
Because the driving growth, we heard earlier today, right? What drives growth is millennials, women, and multiculturals. So how do you speak to that?
So ManCan's base audience are millennials. We're at Cleveland Stadium, where you've got folks going up in the aisle, cheering on their favorite baseball team, and it's about the portability and the convenience. And we did focus groups prior to launch and found that women want a solid wine. They want a taste profile. And if they can get it in a vessel like this, they'll jump into it wholeheartedly. But you have to think, this is a $40 billion industry, and it's not a zero-sum game. So if we can expand the wine market for those millennials and people who are actually utilizing a 375 milliliter can, which I don't know what other industry lags behind in terms of vessel size with consumer behavior, because when do you ever have one glass of wine? And so I think that you're going to have folks that you might be turned off by the name, but that edge is creating that strong brand that we think will really resonate with folks.
Lisa, what do you think of the wine?
Well, it's very difficult for me to drink wine out of anything other than a glass or
You're
a
not our
bottle with a
target
straw.
demographic, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? As a restaurateur, that was a big mistake you just made. I am your target demographic,
That's correct.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Not
should
necessarily.
be
Your
your
restaurants, we literally are not trying to replace the whole ritual of opening up a bottle of wine at the dinner table. The on-site premises that we are at, the theater at the Ace Hotel, a 1,600-person theater in downtown LA, and those are the places that we really think that we're going to get traction with on-site. Places that have stemware, we really aren't going to target, but barbecue places like Brewcade in LA, those are folks that we're not only seeing a lot of volume, but we're seeing velocity with a
Well,
lot
yeah,
of
but
rapid
for certain events, if you had events and you have a huge influx of people, there is something attractive about maybe serving it in a can. I'm just saying don't limit yourself, you know.
Hey, alternative packaging is here, okay?
Yeah.
It's been consumed in Europe for years. The name is challenging. I agree with Falana. It's very challenging because you're limiting, more than 50% of the buying public. I don't think guys are going to walk in and buy an off-dry white wine with any frequency. I think the red wine has an opportunity. I mean, just this event this week, I think it was Wine Star that won the best wine of some award this week. So it's here. We're seeing categories grow with Flip Flop, with Sophia you mentioned, with Seven Daughters is coming. So the category in the retail segment is real. It's growing. It's taking over a lot of 187 space. So you're a larger size item than most of them. Most of them are smaller than this. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's probably too early to tell. But it's here, and there's so many applications. To your point, Lisa. I mean, if you've got a parking lot event that you're going to do,
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like a tent, and I've got like 2,000 people out there. Maybe that's like an appeal.
So
we'll talk afterwards.
Well, no, not now. You've blown it.
That's right.
You're early enough in the game to establish a footprint, but you gotta have to battle in your retail space right now because everybody's coming with it, and it's coming from all over the world. This is the largest wine consumption country on the planet, and everybody's coming here. And they're coming with all these alternative packages, and there's some really great ones. I mean, Stella Rosa's coming with another package I just saw yesterday that's like that aluminum screw top bottle that they think is going to be big. It's going to take that space again. So, but it's here.
And one of the things is our aggressive price point. So we're retailing for $4.99 for the single, and then it's about $19.95 for the 4-pack. And for those off-site places, we think with those 4-packs, we'll be able to move more volume. But it's also awesome wine. So we came home with the gold. We're really excited. All of our wines won medals. And we are so proud of the taste profile and that universal drinkability, which I would disagree with you. I love the white, and we've gotten great reception.
Yep.
Right.
You locked down MANCAN, by the way, the name MANCAN?
No, we probably do.
Probably should get on that right now.
Do you-
From what I'm hearing, yeah.
Now, are you planning on talking a little bit about the winemaker on these cans? Because there's nothing that talks about
Well, you
wine.
jumped in. I didn't get to the wine part. So, we worked with a seasoned winemaker. So the blends are so that we can hit that consistency. So like the white's a Viognier blend. We've got some Chardonnay in there. But we don't want that barrier of purchase to inhibit anybody when they're at the supermarket. So the idea is that we're trying to broaden the wine market to make it more accessible. And we won't actually call out our winemaker by name because we want to build the brand around MANCAN, about living in a firehouse, the dog Gracie.
Yep.
I think that, this goes back to one of the other presenters, and one of the things that I was looking at is that it's a 375, it's 12.5% alcohol. It's a single serve unit, so when you take that down, it's like taking down a half a bottle of Bailey's, correct?
It's a half a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that question is, when was the last time you had one glass of wine?
Come on, Sid.
I know. No, but it's interesting.
I
think I was 18.
Right, because this is 12 ounces, right?
It's 12.6, but
So
yeah.
it's like 2 glasses, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, it's really funny. If you're wearing your wine hat, the things we grew up with, this is a real disconnect.
Yes.
You know what? And when I saw it, I started out saying, this is not, I love your story. I think your packaging is right for what you're trying to accomplish. Not my world, not where I'm going, not where I'm thinking. But in this world of lifestyle wine, there is a whole consumer of alcoholic beverage, has nothing to do with what we do. And I think there's a place for this in that.
Yeah,
I really do. And it's not, and being very special, yes, you're turning off women, you're turning off this, you're turning off that, but that's okay because you're saying this market that I've turned off all over is still so big. There's so much room for me to play, and it's a very specialized thing. It's a very, that guy going hunting, fishing, out there working on the whatever.
Sid, can we
it's
get
a
in Oak
beverage.
Hills?
Well, I think you should target sports events and all those. I think that's where your real market is, apart from my restaurants.
Hunting
And
lodge.
well-
But I think you really should push it there. Go to every stadium and really, give that. I think that's your best shot.
Montana.
You also have that act that you just said, we were just talking about, the golf courses.
Yeah, Oak Hills.
Yeah.
It would be perfect for the beer cart to become the wine cart.
Exactly right.
The red, it was cold. Is that your intent?
It's deliberate. So sommeliers, and this is a room that's much more sophisticated with their knowledge, but it's supposed to be served cellar temperature, 58 degrees. But in the US, we think of room temperature. The idea is when you're cracking open a canned beverage and you've got that refreshing red that's cold, by the time you finish crushing the entire can, it's gonna be right in that sweet spot.
Well, what's good is that you believe in it. That's the most important.
I believe in it, and I love it. It's one of those
That's
things
the
where it's
most
like,
important.
I'm not only the owner, but I'm a client as well. Being one of 4 boys.
And you're early. You know,
Yeah.
there's not a lot out there, so you got a first advantage a little bit. Hey, it's
All right.
good.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
That was
Cheers, guys.
fantastic. Let's give it up for Graham.